Okay, so for this project, I got some of these little mini pumpkins from Dollar Tree. The wood beads I actually ordered from Amazon. I know that Dollar Tree has been selling some. My Dollar Tree hasn't had any, but Amazon has 500 for like $9. So that's a, affordable way to go if you want to get some. And I've done probably 4 or 5 projects already and still have a lot left. So it's probably a cheaper way to go, and you probably get more for your money. And then this ribbon, I got that from Dollar Tree as well. And then the twine, of course, I got it from the automotive section in Dollar Tree. And then you're going to need a large needle to thread that's going to have wide enough opening at the top for you to get, that twine through it. And then you're just going to start threading your pumpkins and your wood beads the way that you want them to be. It took me a little while to figure out what I liked. And if you don't like my design, just make it your own. It's just an idea of what you can do. You can always, like I said, make it your own and how you like it. But I ended up doing like 2 small beads and I did a pumpkin, a small bead, a medium-sized bead, small bead. Then I did a ribbon. And then like the next set, I did 5 beads. So I worked my way up. I did a small bead, medium bead, large bead, medium bead, small bead, and then, a ribbon and a pumpkin. So that's kind of how I did mine. If you don't, like I said, if you don't like the way it looks at the end, you make it your own however you like it. That's the great thing about DIYs, is we can tailor them to what we like in our home. And I actually had a spot that I've been wanting a garland like this at, and so when I saw the little mini pumpkins, I was like, that would make a really cute garland. And I already had the wood beads and I had the ribbon and everything, so it worked out great. And you'll see at the end here, it really turned out cute where I wanted it at. Okay, so next we're going to add some tassels to both ends of my garland. And you can use yarn, you can use twine, you can use whatever you want to use. I just wrapped the twine around my 4 fingers about probably 25 times. And then you're just going to cut that end off, and then you're going to tie like a little knot closer to the top part of it, not like in the center of your twine, more to the top. And then you're going to take some scissors and just cut the little loops at the bottom. And that's how you create little tassels. It's very, very easy. And then I will show you here how I just string it through and tie it to the ends of my garland. Alright, so next I just took a lighter and kind of burned off all those like little frayed edges from the twine that just kind of stick out everywhere, and it just makes it look nicer. Just make sure you don't hold it too close, because it will like catch on fire. Not like bad, but it'll have burnt instead of, frayed edges. So you just got to be careful to hold it too close. But I think it turned out so adorable. And these little garland things can sometimes get pricey in stores. I think I had a total of probably about $4.50 in it, and I think it turned out so adorable. Okay, for this next project, you're going to need some of these JENGA blocks. And you get a lot in a pack. You can usually do several projects out of one of these boxes of JENGA blocks. But you're going to take some hot glue and you're going to glue 2 pieces together, 2 JENGA blocks together, then do 3, then do 4, and then work your way back down, do 3, and then 2. And it's going to create this like cute little 3D little pumpkin. And you can make them whatever size you want. You can make them smaller. I made one of these this size, and then I made another size that was a little bit smaller. And I just started with 1 JENGA block, 2 JENGA blocks, then 3, and then 2 and 1. And you can do that, or you can even make them bigger, just however you want to do it. But they're really fun to make. And my son got home from school and he was like, Mom, I want to make one of those. So they're fun little craft for kids to do too, that you can do together. And then they can paint it whatever color they want to paint it. And like I said, you get so many blocks in that one little box that you could get several different little pumpkins, different sizes, out of just one box. And it's only $1. So it's a fun little craft, and it's also a cute little decor thing that you can add to. It's a great size for tier trays. I think it turned out really cute just sitting on my tier tray. If you've seen any of the 2022 calendars that they had out, they had some really good ones out this year. I got this one, and it's the October one, and I'm going to add it to this dollar sign that they have at the Dollar Tree. They have this shape of sign pretty much for every season. And I'm just going to cut out that piece. It's the October piece. And then I'm going to use some Elmer's glue to stick it to the sign. I usually use Mod Podge for this, but I noticed last year when I did some projects that it gets very wrinkled because this paper is very thin. And then the calendar also kind of pulled through to the front of the paper. So I'm just going to stick with some Elmer's glue this time, and it worked great. It didn't have any wrinkles, so I would definitely recommend that you use that instead of the Mod Podge. And it works fine. It didn't have any problems with it sticking to it. And then next we're going to make like a little messy bow for the top of it, and this is so simple. I know a lot of people are like, I don't know how to make bows. Anybody can make a little messy bow, and they're really cute. I just took the ribbons that I got from Dollar Tree from their fall collection for this year, and I'm just going to go back and forth, and I just kind of eyeballed how long I wanted it to be. It's always easier to cut off if you need to than it is you can't add more to it. So I'm just going to go back and like kind of like an X shape and do the different ribbons, go back and forth with the different ribbons. And you're just going to do that how many ever you want to do. It depends on how thick you want your ribbon, your little bow at the end to be, how much ribbon you're going to add. And I wanted mine to be not like really thick, but I wanted it to be a good size bow because I wanted to add it to the top of the calendar piece where that little hole is so you wouldn't see it. And also just to give it a little extra something. So that's all I'm doing is just going back and forth with the different ribbons. Then I'm just going to take some twine and take it into the middle and tie a couple knots in the back of it. Tie it really tight so that your ribbon doesn't fall out. And then put some hot glue on the back of it and stick it right over top that little hole. And it works really good. And I think this is a cute little bow that anybody can make. I also did do my little tails on them, so that they had that cute little look. That's very simple to do. And it does kind of cover up my A and my P a little bit, but I didn't mind it. I think it still works. I mean, you know what it is anyway. And then I also put some twine on the back to make like a hanger, and I just added a lot of extra glue. But if you wanted to make it little more sturdy, you could use a popsicle stick and then put the glue over top of that. But I've never had any issues with my stuff that I've made falling just by doing it that way. And I think it turned out so cute. I love the little green truck with the pumpkins and the leaves. It just screams fall. I love it. And I think it turned out really cute. I put it over my stove at first, but then I was like, it's probably going to get food splattered on it. So then I added it to my blanket ladder, and I really like how it turned out. I have made several of these like little stack books with the crates from Dollar Tree, and they're so simple, quick and easy to do, and you can make them for all the different seasons and make them however you want to match, your decor. But I just got this paper from Hobby Lobby, and you're going to use the crate and, of course, get the size shape that you need, cut it out, and then I'm going to use some Mod Podge to put this on there. I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge, and then I'm going to add my paper to it, and then put another layer of Mod Podge on top of that. That always works fine, and when I do it like that, and don't use a ton of Mod Podge, because if you use too much, it will get wrinkled, like the paper will wrinkle up. So I would recommend that you don't put a ton of Mod Podge on there. It doesn't take very much. It goes a long ways. And then, like I said, I'm going to put a layer on top of it, and it does take a little while to dry, but usually I'm doing other projects, so by the time I finish those, it's already dry and ready to go. So I painted the bottom little layer in this orange that I kind of created with apple barrel paint because I didn't have a lot of paint on hand. And when I do my DIYs, I always try to just use what I have on hand before I go and buy stuff. But I probably do need to get some new paint. But they probably have something similar to this color, I'm sure. And I did the same thing with the blue. But I just did the layer of the blue and the orange, and then I added some of those Dollar Tree letters, the Farm Fresh pumpkins, and then some Dollar Tree ribbon. And I would put a layer of Mod Podge over top of those letters just so they don't come off, because they will peel off after a while. And these little stack books work so good in tier trays, and I love the blue and orange. I just love the colors and how it turned out. But that is all that I have for y'all today. I hope y'all have a blessed day or evening, whatever it is where you're at, and I'll see you in the next one.